go, Len.
All right, call the reorganization meeting of the New Brunswick Parking Authority to order. Notice of this meeting has been posted. Okay. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act have been complied with and satisfied in that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time, place, and conduct of all public meetings of the New Brunswick Parking Authority, has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of City Hall, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick, namely the Home News and Tribune, as per the annual notice provided in a resolution adopted by this governing body on December 29, 1975. Have all commissioners in attendance. First order of business is nomination of officers for year 2016. The positions are chairman, vice chairman, treasurer, and secretary. So do I have someone nominated?
Motion by the same slate you put back in office.
Okay, some officers be nominated, that being Kevin McShernan as the chairman, Anthony Caputo as the vice chairman, treasurer is Louis Scarlatti, and secretary would be Edwin Keefe. Okay, any other nominations? There being no further nominations, nominations closed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
5 yes and 0 no, no opposition. Okay. I'm going to go through the reorganization resolution, so we can do this as a consent agenda, so I'll read them off to you, explain each one to you, and then when I'm done, at the end, if anyone has a question relative to the resolution, we'll speak to the resolution, and then if there are no questions or the questions are satisfied, we'll move these as a consent agenda. Okay. The first order of business is the regular board meetings for the New Brunswick Parking Authority. Those meetings will be on the fourth Wednesday of the month, except in November, when it will be the fifth Wednesday, and December, it will be the third Wednesday. And that's a result of holidays. We will reappoint our official newspapers, which are the Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger. Our auditor for the year 2015 for our prior year is Witham, Smith & Brown, and that's a result of a fair and open request for qualifications. Our nomination for bond trustee is Amboy Bank, who has served as our bank trustee since I've been here, so for at least 25 years, and that is pursuant to a non-fair and open process, which we're allowed to do relative to choosing our bank and trustees. We will adopt, as we must annually, our cash management plan. There have been no changes relative to our banks, our depository banks are Amboy National Bank, PNC Bank, and the signatories will remain the same as 2015. And our nominations, our appointment of our parking enforcement officers for the year 2016, although we do not have to do this annually, it's our practice to do this just in case we have any new officers, that we annually reappoint and recertify our enforcement officers. So it's Paul Francos, Sean Granberry, Tina Hilsman-Morman, Antoine Johnson, Deborah Quillis, Mercedes Vasquez, Luke Heck, Darnell Bowden. Next resolution is the nomination and appointment of our public agency compliance officer, and that is Stephanie Zucker. Also, our nomination, next resolution is the nomination and appointment of our open public records custodian, and that also is Stephanie Zucker. Next resolution is the appointment of our bond counsel. That was done by a fair and open RFQ, and that is Walentz, Goldman, and Spitzer. The next resolution is appointment of general legal counsel, which was also done by a fair and open RFQ, and that is Leonard Beer. Next resolution is appointment of special legal counsel for 2016. Again, that was done as a RFQ at fair and open, and that is Walentz, Goldman, and Spitzer. Next appointment is our labor attorneys for 2016, also was a fair and open RFQ, Walentz, Goldman, and Spitzer. Next,
No,
I'm sorry.
that's approved.
Oh, I'm sorry. Abruzzi, McDermott, Mastro, and Murphy. My mistake. Sorry. Okay. Next is our appointments of parking consultants, and we've appointed 3, Kim Haas and Associates, Level G, and Beer Associates. Appointment of our next resolution is the appointment, and that was all done obviously by RFQ and open fair. Appointment of our parking structure design and engineering services, also selected by a fair and open RFQ, and that is Timothy Haas and Associates. So does anybody wish to speak to any of the resolutions? There being no comments or questions by the commissioners, then I ask that somebody move this as a consent agenda.
I make a motion to move it forward.
Commissioner Carlotti moves it.
Second.
Second by the chair. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5 yes, 0 no. The resolutions are adopted as a consent agenda.
Make a motion that we adjourn the reorganization meeting.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Sir, you are now ready for the regular meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Could I have that public notice in there?
Sure.
Okay, we'll call this authority to order. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice, which gave sufficient notice of the time, place, and conduct of all public meetings of the New Brunswick Parking Authority, has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in the lobby of the City Hall, New Brunswick, New Jersey, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the City of New Brunswick, namely the Home News and Tribune, as per the annual notice provided in a resolution adopted by this governing body on December 29, 1975. I believe that our next item, everybody has received the minutes of the regular board meeting of December 16, 2015. Do any of the commissioners have additions, corrections that they'd like to bring up at this time?
Make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the minutes. Second, all in favor? Aye. Mr. Karen, your report?
Okay, thank you. Today we had the pricing for the 2006 refinancing. It was very successful. We actually show a 11.75% savings. We're saving $2.3 million over the maturity of the bond, which matures at 2036. Pretty much equates to about $150,000 annually for debt service. So it went very well, better than expected. The next is we're looking to refund the 2010 bonds, which are the BABs. Those were taken out when we financed the Gateway and Wellness Center. We're looking to refinance $145 million worth of debt. They will mature at 2040. Right now, we're looking at a savings of about 3.8% or $5.4 million. We have a resolution to go in front of LFB. We'll get to that later. And right now, the tentative timeline would be to bring this to local finance board in March. At New Street, we switched out the equipment. We now have data park equipment over at New Street. We had little hiccups in the beginning, but now it's running smoothly. We switched the old federal equipment. We took the 2 machines that were located at New Street and we moved them over to Morris Street. So now we have 4 pay-on-foots, actually 5 pay-on-foot machines at Morris Street. So we find that will help the heavy loadouts when there's events over at the State Theater. People will be able to pay at 5 machines now. We'll eventually be changing that equipment out to Data Park probably later this year. So then the whole system, all our garages will have Data Park equipment. Worked out with Rutgers that the 5th and 6th Ward shuttle is now stopping in front of Key Food down Kirkpatrick Street. They moved their route. They were making a turn from Patterson over to down Joyce Kilmer up to 27. So now they don't go down Joyce Kilmer. They come up to Kirkpatrick, make the turn there, still come out 27, but at the same time can pick up and drop off people at Key Food. We As far as the LPR permit update, we finished the pilot program at the end of December. It was fairly successful. It was a real primitive system, but we found that the pickup rates of the license plates were very good, over 92%. So we're very happy with that. My next step is now to go out for competitive contracting and expand the LPR and get it so that people could apply online for their permits and then basically use the license plate as your permit. And that will, I see a big savings as far as not having to pay the permits, for the permits themselves. And it's convenience for the homeowners, for the tenants. So that's our next step. So I'll be working on getting a competitive contract laid out, within the next 45 days. The impact on the snow. We opened our garages to residents who wish to park here, and we did break a record as far as number of residents in our facilities. We had a total of 229 residents that parked in our facilities. Majority of them parked at Morris Street, 103. Then we had 62 at Wellness, 44 at Plum, and 20 at New Street. We also updated our Jersey Avenue program, so we have information that we could get more readily from the program. So Bright was kind enough to do a census to get an idea where people are coming to park over at Jersey Avenue. And we found that 33%, let me first say, we sell approximately 1,300 permits on a quarterly basis out there. And we found that 33% of the permit holders are from South Brunswick, 30% are from Somerset, and 28% are from North Brunswick. And then the remainder come from South River, Jamesburg, Monroe, different areas. Only 3 are from New Brunswick, so that gives you a better idea of who uses that facility. And that is all I have in my report right now.
Okay, thanks. So you guys, the staff did a great job with the snow removal. I mean, it was
Thank you.
not a pleasant weekend
Yeah,
out
they
there.
worked hard.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, everyone worked
How hard they worked to make all the decks look good. Okay, right?
The December financial was emailed to the board members. We have 36 million in revenue year-to-date, and the expense of 24 million year-to-date before depreciation and pilot. We were 7% above the budget, mainly because of additional monthly cards and the meters increasing rates. Expense-wise, we were 0.8% less, more, and that's because of we had new service contracts that we came in 2015. 2016 budget we received today, approved from the DCA. Adopted budget was approved from the DCA. It will be up on our website by this week. And the auditors should be here the second week of February.
Okay. Good. Len, do you have anything for legal?
Nothing to report from legal.
Okay. Any public comment?
Question?
Yes, that's public comment, that's what it's about, yes.
Regarding the license plate reader, can you elaborate a bit more on the timeline of when we should expect updates on when we should, on license plate reader?
As far as when it'll be implemented?
Yes.
Well, it's, like I mentioned, we're going to put out the competitive contracting bid. So then we have to wait for responses there, and then basically they have to work it into our system, because we're unique from other cities, and, no 2 cities are alike. So I really don't have, I'm hoping to have it done within the next year or so.
So within the next year, we would have, so that we would have the system installed and
Yeah,
within the next
that's my
year?
goal.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any additional board discussion? If there's none, we have 3 resolutions for tonight. Can I get a motion to move the payment resolution?
Make a motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor? Next is a resolution authorizing the submission of an application to New Jersey Local Finance Board to refinance certain outstanding 2010 bonds, which is the program Mitch spoke about just recently. Are there any questions on that? And if not, can I get a motion to move that? All right, motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And finally, a resolution approving Bright Consulting LLC for 2016 financial services. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Any old business?
I have no old business.
New business?
Okay, new business, I'm looking for a motion. There's a, as part of the Ferron redevelopment, as I mentioned previously, there's remediation that needs to be done at the site. There's a tri-party access and remediation agreement between the parking authority, the county, and DevCo. Basically, this agreement is that the parking authority has agreed that DevCo will act as our agent at DevCo's sole cost and expense to provide oversight of the county's remediation of the property. Since they're going to be responsible to remediate that. So the agreement is is acceptable substantially in its substantial form. There is one item 5, which the county and DevCo are still working out, but it doesn't affect us at all. So I'm looking for a motion by the board to sign this agreement.
Okay, so this is an agreement that
The county, basically the county is responsible to remediate.
takes us out of the
We're out of the
the
equation.
liability chain.
That's right.
in the
Correct.
event
Yes.
of an incident. Okay.
This is pending, that agreement between the county and the DevCo that they're doing now?
Well, everyone's in agreement for it. There's one item in the agreement that they're still,
Okay. I'll
going
make a
back and
motion
forth
then.
on.
Okay, we have a motion to accept that resolution. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
All right.
Thank you.
And then the other thing, just to give you an update on the pedestrian bridge. We're still waiting for Amtrak to approve, to give us approval to go ahead with the borings on the train track side of the project.
Right.
Basically where that billboard lies. So we need their approval since it's their property. So wait for that. In the meantime, since we had the survey completed, the engineering firm is now working on the design of the bridge. So that's the latest.
Great. Do you have any closed session items?
I have no closed session items.
Okay. Then I would look for one of the members to give me a motion to adjourn. And a second? All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much.